So for this exercise, this is kind of a classic for spinal stability and core stability training. This exercise is known as the bird dog. So we'll get right into this one. A couple things that we want to really be paying attention to is how we're controlling this range of motion, and we're really trying to keep the core and the midline nice and stiff as we move our limbs around the torso. And I'm going to be showing you this exercise from the side. So first things first is I want to make sure that my arm and my shoulder are stacked right over the wrist. If that's too much for your wrist, we can take a fist and place that down like so. But if you can, let's just keep the wrist extended. We want the hip stacked over the knee. And then from there, we're going to brace the core. This isn't a spinal flexion drill. This is a neutrality style drill. So I want to just make sure that wherever I am, as long as I'm not extended, I'm not overflexed, I'm somewhere in between, I will brace my core into that position so my rib cage slightly comes down and my abs are nice and tight. And then we're going to start challenging the stability component of our body. So I will start to reach with just one arm at first and make sure that my body doesn't want to turn side to side or have to hyperextend in order to lift my arm. I want to make sure that my core stays tight. I lift the arm as high as I physically can, and then I bring it back down. Then I'll do that with the opposite arm. Reach and bring that back down, keeping the core tight. Now we're going to get to the lower body. So as I kick back, I'm going to lightly lift my leg up towards the ceiling. I don't want to bring the leg all the way up here because that's going to dump my pelvis down. So instead, we're just trying to get the leg to move back. Bring that down. Then I'll switch legs, keeping the core tight, and then back down. And now I'll start to challenge opposite arm and opposite leg. So for this one, I'm going to use my right arm and my left leg. They will now reach. I keep them low, core is tight, and then I start to lift and bring them back down. I will then switch, left arm, right leg, squeeze, and back down. And when I say squeeze, we want that glute to really tighten and engage. So as I lift that leg back and up, and I reach here, my glute is really stiff, my core is stiff, and my right arm is very active. I'm thinking right arm goes away from the, right hand goes away from the left foot. And then left hand goes away from the right foot. This is a great drill to be doing in front of a camera or in front of a mirror, so that you can see what's happening in your lower back that whole time. So if we are struggling and we're getting that overextension compensation, then what we're going to want to do is just slide the leg back and keep it low. Still tightening the glute, keeping the core tight, and then switching with the arm, keeping the arm low as well, versus trying to compensate and lift. So I don't want my ribs to compress down towards the ground, which will also be another compensation that people can fall into. So what we'd rather see is a quality movement that's regressed so that we get a bigger bang for our buck when we're executing these exercises.